These are 10 ways that you can find out if someone is on Tinder. Now, maybe the local coffee shop you go to has a cute barista that started putting a little love heart above the I on your takeaway coffee cup. Now, of course, guys named Steve will never experience that. Screw you, Tim. But point is, you might be wondering, is this person on Tinder and can I swipe on them? Or maybe there's someone from your past or someone you're currently seeing and you're wondering if they're on Tinder. Now, look, I'm going to leave my opinions to the side for now on this one. But when it comes to finding if someone's on Tinder, I've got 10 different ways that you can find out. Now, I wanted to make a really nice, clean number with 10. So some of these are very unethical and you shouldn't do them, but albeit they work and you will know if that person's on Tinder. So look, if you have tried to see if somebody is on Tinder before, you'll see it's really not that easy. It's quite difficult to find out, but you're here to find that out. Whether or not I agree with it, that's beside the point for now, but let's get into those 10.
How excited are you?
Now, number one, and the most, common way that people try is to just search Tinder. Now, essentially what you're gonna have to do is narrow your preferences down to as detailed as you possibly can make them if you know this information about your match. So essentially that's gonna be the location and their age. And then you're gonna have to get swiping. Now, there is a little toggle that says only show people in this age range or location range. Make sure you do select that. Then you're gonna have to go start swiping. Make sure not to trigger happy with your swipes because you will miss them if they do come up. And if you get that little message saying you've run out of people to swipe on, then I guess you can have a bit of a sigh of relief knowing that most likely that person is not on Tinder, if you didn't want them on Tinder, I guess. Now, secondly, if this is like a long distance thing and you maybe have some suspicions and you're wondering if they are using Tinder, you can actually change your location using Tinder Passport. Or you could download an app that does change the GPS of your current phone. There's a ton of apps for Android and iPhone to do this. And this will just essentially trick your phone into thinking that you are in that location. Or like I said, just use Tinder Passport. Number 3, you can ask your swiping friends to just keep an eye out for it. So let's say you're in a relationship and you don't exactly want to jump on Tinder and do these searches. If one of your single friends is using Tinder, you can just ask them to keep an eye out for it. Now, be prepared to get some funny looks when you do ask them to do this, but it's a way. Next, you can go through their phone. Now, remember I said some of these are unethical and I definitely do not advocate you do this. And in fact, I suggest you definitely do not do this. But if you want to know all the ways to do it, then that's a way. So sometimes it could be just seeing the app on their phone home screen when they are using their phone. Some Android users will get a little Tinder sort of symbol at the very top of their phone. I've seen cases of a girlfriend sending like a screenshot of their phone to their boyfriends and the little Tinder icon is at the top. So that's a very big giveaway right there. But this is probably like the most simple way that you can see for sure if it's on their phone. Again, just don't do that though. If you're having those worries, there's other ways to go about it, which we'll get to. Number 5, see if they've connected their Facebook to their Tinder. Now look, this is some grade A snooping again, but if someone signed up to Tinder, most likely once upon a time, they did use Facebook to do so. So again, completely unethical. You shouldn't do this. But if you do want to find out, you can gain access to their Facebook account and you can see if it is connected to Tinder. Now, most of these are a huge breach of trust and you should not do them. I am giving you that information, but at the same time, I'm pleading with you to not do it. But okay, look, the moralizing is over. So look, once you're in, you can click their profile picture and you'll find privacy and settings. Click security and login and then apps and websites. And this will show you where they're using Facebook to log into external apps. Tinder might be one of them. But keep in mind, it might still be on there from their single days. So look, if you do this, it's not even giving you a concrete answer of whether they're using Tinder currently, but it does give you a bit of an idea that they might be. Next, you can use a third-party app. Now look, there are some third-party apps out there that claim that they can search if somebody is on Tinder, stressing the word claim. There's apps like Social Catfish, Truth Finder, and Cheat Busters, which claim to do this. If your heart is set on trying to find this out, maybe you can check those out. But remember, they only claim to do it. There's been mixed reports on whether or not they will. So just a very short break for today's sponsor, and today's sponsor is me. Now the channel is supported 100% by just myself. We don't have any external sponsors. With that being said, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, which is Hook Her Heart. I've developed this groundbreaking new course which teaches you everything you would need to know about online online dating from A to Z. It's called Hook or Heart, the modern gentleman's guide to attracting, entertaining, and retaining high quality women. In my new jam-packed 5-module course, I'll walk you through some of the most vital concepts like how to build a good physique, exactly what to eat, whether you want to lean up or gain some muscle, my methodology for upgrading your look from grooming to a whole wardrobe transformation, a fresh overhaul to an attractive, intriguing dating profile, my exact process for optimizing your pictures to get way more matches, my best openers that get interested responses from women, live breakdowns of magnetic conversations, my core methodologies, and the 6 pillars of conversation, what to do on the date to give her an amazing experience, and the smoothest, most natural way to escalate towards your end goal, plus so much more inside the course, and 3 awesome bonuses that you'll get for free if you sign up before my special introductory price expires. So if you are serious about transforming your dating life and you want to learn literally everything you would ever need to, well then click the link down in the description below so you can get the special introductory price offer that's not going to be available for long. Now that's it for today's sponsor. Back to the video. Number 7 is to just search the Tinder username. Now look, Tinder took a bit of a step into trying to be a bit more of a social network rather than just a dating app and allowed you to choose a username. So if that person has a very common username, you can try to search that username or just try their full name to see if any results come up. For this, you need to be logged into Tinder on your web browser. So that means it's essentially using it on your desktop. So just try their social media handles or their email address and maybe that will come up with something. Next, you could reverse image search one of their potential profile pictures. So look, if that person has a profile picture that they use across all accounts and you can guess they would probably use that on Tinder, you can try to do a reverse search on it on Google. But at the end of the day, it's arguable whether or not Google would actually show results for somebody on Tinder. But if somebody screenshot their account or something like that in the past, there is a chance that maybe it will come up on a site like Reddit or something. Number 9, try and sign in with their details. Now look, this one is very risky. Well, I guess all of them are, but this one even more so because if you're trying to log in off a different device than the one that they're using, they might get a notification that somebody is attempting to log into their account. Plus, Tinder's sign-in process is a little bit vague these days. I mean, you do need like a Facebook account or a phone number and things like that, rather than just like a traditional login with like a username and password. But if you're curious and for some reason you do know what a typical username and password might be for them, you can give it a go. And number 10, the only one that I think is maybe okay on this whole list is just to ask them.
Can I ask you a question?
Let's say you're in a healthy relationship, it's still in the early days, and this is where this concern is coming from. The best way to do it, rather than snooping, rather to breach that trust, rather than being a snooping creep, would be to just outright ask them. There's probably a reason you're wondering this, and hopefully it is just because you are wanting to move to that next level with this person, and asking them might put your fears at rest. Make sure if you do decide to do this that you're centering the conversation around how you feel and making it less of an actual accusation. You definitely don't want hostility taking over, and you want to create a space where your partner can be honest with you. But at the end of the day, if you're not exclusive yet and you haven't really had that talk, starting to dig into things like Tinder and the Tinder use can make a little bit of a hostile conversation depending on who you are with, but only if you're not ready to take it to that next step. So what I'm getting at, really the time that I would say that this conversation is actually granted or fair to have is when you are actually considering moving to that next level and becoming exclusive. If you're not, then like, what the hell are you talking about? It's not the right time to bring this up or even stress about this, and if you're probably watching this video. So if you were actually wanting to move to becoming exclusive, you could bring it up and say something along the lines of like, hey, look, I was hoping to take things to the next level a little bit. I'm just wondering, are you still like using the apps and things like that, still matching with people? Because I'm not. And only if you've probably been seeing them for a little while, or at least things are going really well. Otherwise, you are always better off to try your best to put it at the back of your mind and not obsess over it. You don't own this person. They are allowed to go and use these apps if they want to. And if you are in a relationship and you're having these worries, that is probably a bigger deal in itself. Trust is one of the biggest, if not the biggest factor of a healthy relationship. So if there is some red flags that are popping out to you, and that's why you're watching this video, then I suggest you sit down with your partner and have a chat about that. Not just coming out and asking, are you on Tinder? Dig to the bottom of why you are probably feeling that. But let me just stress this at the end of this video, please don't actually take any of these steps. I wanted to make this video to show you that there are a couple of ways out there, and hopefully you click on this video rather than some guy who is an advocate for snooping. But if you are in a a relationship and things aren't going that well and you're having your doubts and you do become single soon, or you are single now in the first place and you're just wondering about maybe someone from like a coffee shop or someone you work with, then I do highly suggest that you do take Hook Her Heart, which will tell you how to up your online dating game and make sure that this isn't something that you even have to worry about, because everyone that you match with will be very into you. Or if you do come across that cute girl on Tinder from the coffee shop, then you can definitely get a match back because you've got awesome photos, have an awesome bio, and you know what to say to spark up a really good conversation so you can actually go on a date and stop just getting the little love hearts on your coffee cup. But guys, that wraps up the video today. If you have liked it, please go ahead and press the thumbs up button and consider subscribing. And until next time, I'll see you later.